You just never know what God's going to do. Hello there, this is Pastor Pete Pavelic. Thank you so much for joining me for this edition of the Daily Devo. As always, I want to invite you to connect with me over at pastorpete.org. There on the website, you can also pick up a copy of my Bible study called Signs and Wonders. I'm going to reference that a little bit today in today's Daily Devo, which is why I point that out. You can pick it up on Amazon.com as well. Signs and Wonders by Pete Pavelic. So today I've been reflecting in Acts chapter 8, and one of my favorite miracles to get to unpack in that Bible study, Signs and Wonders, were the miracles that God did through Philip. Now, these aren't miracles like the Red Sea or David slaying Goliath or Jesus walking on the water that everybody knows about. These are some of the less well-known miracles in the Bible, but they're incredible. And one of the greatest parts about this is it shows just how creative God is and the fact that we never know what God's going to do. Let me read to you some of what God was doing through Philip after he was scattered out with the church from Jerusalem. They were scattered, and Philip ended up in Samaria. And here's what it says starting in verse 6. The crowds were all paying attention to what Philip said as they listened and saw the signs he was performing. For unclean spirits, crying out with a loud voice, came out of many who were possessed, and many who were paralyzed and lame were healed. So there was great joy in that city. This man, Philip, becomes a great evangelist. He would be a great evangelist for the rest of his life. He would be somebody that God would use in many, many miraculous and incredible ways, which again I unpack in greater detail in the Bible study. But here's the thing I want you to hear today. Do you know how Philip got his start in ministry? You have to back up to Acts chapter 6. And in Acts chapter 6, Philip is one of the men who is chosen to wait tables. He's chosen to serve the people that the apostles didn't have time to serve. He was chosen to be a table waiter. That's where he started, just like Stephen. And not long after he gave in to that call, he said, Lord, I'll do whatever you want. I'm here to serve you. It's when God started to do miraculous things through him and Stephen and many others that were chosen for that role. And that's why I say this to you today. You never know what God's going to do. You never know when you step out and say, you know what, I'll lead a Bible study, where God's going to take that. You never know what God's going to do when you say, Lord, I'm available. I'm willing to serve tables. I'm willing to be on a ministry team. I'm willing to go on a short-term mission trip. I'm willing to just submit my life, my finances, my time, everything I've got. I'm just going to give it to you and see what you want to do with it. You never know what God's going to do. If you don't believe me, read Philip's story. Start in Acts 6 and run it all the way through Acts 8. And you're going to be surprised how far he came from tables to doing these miracles in Samaria. What an incredible story. May God bless you today. I hope he does wonderful things in your life. Thanks for listening. Thanks for connecting with me. Come over to pastorpete.org. I'd love to see you there.